Hey everyone, it is Sunday, August 28th. The time is 2 p.m. and the temperature right now is around 25 degrees Celsius. And I'm here just north of Bloor Street on Avenue Road. And there's a look to the north, and that is the Yorkville neighborhood on the right side of the street. And that would be the Annex off in that direction. And there's my Varla Pegasus city commute scooter. And for this one, I'll be hopping on the scooter and going for a quick ride through Yorkville along Cumberland here. And then I'll make my way back over to this area and I'll head south down Queen's Park and on University Avenue, and I'll make my way over to what Time Out magazine has deemed to be the 14th coolest street in the world, and that would be Ossington Avenue. All right, so let's get moving here. I'm just gonna walk it over to Cumberland here. I was originally going to start on Yorkville Avenue, just to the north of here. But they have that street closed off. There was a police officer blocking it from Bay Street. And yesterday, I think Kim Kardashian was spotted shopping in this area. There's a McLaren right next to a Lamborghini. You can always count on seeing a few supercars in Yorkville Village here. And this is the first pre-recorded ride I've done on this e-scooter. I'm still evaluating it. There will be a review to come. I've got just 51 kilometers on it in total. So Bloor Street here to the north is close to traffic, so I'm going to turn right here. Actually, let's go straight. I'll turn right at Bay. It's a little more interesting if we go that way. There's a look kind of up Bloor. Here's Bay Street. I'm going to ride west here along half of a stretch known as the Mink Mile, and then I'll turn left when I get back to Avenue and Queen's Park. So this is west on Bloor Street West, and this car just made a cyclist go around them. I don't see the appeal in blasting music. Oh, there's a Ferrari just on the left. That's 3 supercars spotted. Is that another one just up ahead? Another Ferrari. Welcome to Yorkville, folks. All right, so we're gonna go south down Queen's Park here. There's the Royal Ontario Museum. And it looks like Spider-Man has made an appearance. Although I don't think that's the same Spider-Man I saw in front of the Skydome yesterday. That made it into the video I uploaded this morning. So this is south on Queen's Park. And this is Museum Station I'm going past. There's some police vehicles here. I wonder if there's another protest going on in Queen's Park. And an ambulance. The area on the right is the University of Toronto. I think that guy just said, "Here we go." This thing has an absurd amount of power on tap when I need it. It's got 3 power modes. I'm in the middle one, which caps off at 32 kilometers per hour. And that's the fastest e-bikes are allowed to go on motor anyways. I have noticed the double suspension makes getting around Toronto much easier. These roads aren't in the best of conditions. There's a red light. Coming down here, I was stuck at a red light. And about 4 Uber delivery guys on e-bikes all flew around me. And then they proceeded to slowly clog up the bike lane in front of me. Speaking of which, there's been a crackdown on cyclists on Shaw Street this weekend by the police. They've been ticketing people for rolling through stop signs. By the way, this is now University Avenue. And since I'm going to be in that area, maybe after I ride up Ossington Avenue, I'll head over to Shaw Street and we'll see if we can spot those cops. Apparently they've been getting people rolling through stops. And that's been the source of a lot of controversy targeting cyclists when motorists seem to have free rein. Not that anyone being unsafe on the roads is ever acceptable. And this is a pet peeve of mine when people ride 2 abreast. And this is Dundas Street. And so far, I've traveled 2.5 kilometers. Looks like they almost collided there. There's a Toronto YouTube channel called Old Toronto Series. And I think about a month or so ago, they posted a video titled 5 Things That Didn't Happen, or something to that effect. And the number 1 thing they listed is just to the south of here. And that's south of Queen and University. In the 1920s, they were planning on building a large roundabout called Vimy Circle. And there would have been a big monument in the center of it. And due to the financial crisis and the Great Depression, that was canceled. Say no to animal testing. There's a protest going on the east side of University. So here's Queen Street. University originally didn't extend south of here, so the plan was to put that big roundabout or traffic circle, whatever you want to call it, just on the south side of this intersection. I think a few streets would have stemmed off of it in a diagonal direction. That would have radically changed the face of this area. And perhaps given Toronto something that doesn't really have, a big European-style public plaza. And since I'm heading over to Ossington Avenue, I'll turn right here at Richmond Street. That'll take us almost all the way over. There's Simcoe Street. So this is west on Richmond through the entertainment district. So I think Time Out pulled something like 22,000 what they called urban city dwellers. And they formed a list of the 30 some odd coolest streets in the world in big cities. And I think the number 1 street was Rue Wellington in Montreal, if I'm not mistaken. Ossington landed at number 14 on that list. I think they're obviously just talking about the stretch of Ossington between Queen and Dundas, as there's really nothing to write home about north of Dundas on Ossington, and that's where we're heading. And if you hear a slight rattle, I think that's the front headlight. I'm going to have to look at maybe tightening that or finding a way to better secure it, because otherwise this thing is pretty quiet. That's just something I'm noticing. Again, I'll go over this scooter in depth in an upcoming ride and review. And this is Spadina. Person dropped their Pepsi. Here is Brant Street, where everyone seems to want to run this red light. This is Portland Street. And Richmond is a one-way street, as you can tell, heading west, but on the other side of Bathurst, it flips directions. But there's still a westbound bike lane maintained. I don't really feel anything when I go over the streetcar tracks on this. That was very smooth. So here's what all the controversy is about, at least in terms of what's going on Shaw Street. You'll notice that's a stop sign. And a lot of the cyclists on Shaw Street roll through the stop signs. Some of them just completely blow them, and some of them come to a complete stop, but the police have been ticketing anyone this weekend who isn't coming to a complete stop. And I'm a fan of treating stop signs like that on residential streets as more of yield signs. It's a maneuver called the Idaho stop. It's proven safe, and it's legal in some jurisdictions, including Idaho. It takes a lot more momentum to start and stop a bike. I'll let that Corvette have right away there, even though I think I might have got there first. The Idaho stop is kind of a win-win for everyone, because if a cyclist and car are there around the same time and the cyclist is just before it, the car doesn't have to wait for the cyclist to come to a complete stop and then get going. On an e-scooter like this, I think you should probably be coming to a complete stop. You don't have that same momentum issue. And the same goes for throttle-only e-bikes. And we have made it to Strachan, so I'm going to turn right here, and this will take us up to the south end of Trinity Bellwoods Park. And I'm going to turn left on Queen, and we'll head through the West Queen West neighborhood, which I think in 2014 Vogue magazine deemed to be the second coolest neighborhood in the world. And Ossington extends north off of Queen, so it's part of that. So this is Queen Street West in West Queen West. And that old Toronto series also featured part of Trinity College in Trinity Bellwoods. If I remember to, I'll link to that video in the description. It's really neat. So here is Shaw Street. After I go north up Ossington, I'll turn right on Dundas and make my way back over to Shaw, and I'll start heading north again. Technically, e-scooters are banned in the city of Toronto. I've never seen anyone get a ticket for that. They're kind of past the point of no return. I don't think they can enforce that if they wanted to. It's really a stupid ban anyways. And here we go. According to Time Out magazine, the 14th coolest street. This is Ossington. It's a really vibrant mix of bars, restaurants, retail shopping. There's a lot of dive bars. I'll take it a little slower up through here. Lowered my scooter into its slowest power mode. These are some pretty terrible roads. I say that a lot. An ice cream and bakery is quite popular. I just went by. And this is Argyle Street coming up. Not sure the scooter likes to go slow. I'm just gonna have to learn to feather the throttle a little better. I do have dual motor mode engaged. There's Bellwood's Brewery. Always a busy spot. And there's a similar vibe to this along Queen Street, just to the south where I was. And if you were to turn left on Dundas Street for a few blocks. That'll lead you into Little Portugal if you head that way. All right, let's turn right on Dundas and head over to Shaw here. That was all I had planned for this one. Then that idea to see if we can see police ticketing cyclists popped into my head on Shaw. No left turns here, bicycles accepted. So this is north up Shaw Street. And I did a video featuring Shaw Street earlier this year on my old e-bike, the Rise Fixie, one that I've since sold. And the reason I featured this is there's more bicycle traffic than cars on it. So it's kind of a rare success story. Also makes it an odd place for the police to be doing their ticketing blitz. They've also targeted High Park. You'll notice it's a one-way street heading south on this stretch. But like Richmond, there's a bike lane in the opposite direction. The tweet that I saw said that they were out patrolling Shaw this weekend. But for all I know, that was a Saturday only thing. This is College Street. And we are at Little Italy. Well, this video is only 25 minutes long, plus my intro. And we're at 7 kilometers.
That's weird, right? Like, you don't know.
Yeah, I think that's definitely that front headlight. You can hear rattling around a bit. I'm going to take a closer look at that. Don't really hear it when I'm on smooth surfaces. There's Central Toronto Academy. I think I was on Shaw when I live streamed on this thing for the first time. Someone going backwards on their inline skates, that's cool. And the original tweet said it was around Shaw and King, which didn't really make sense based on the picture that they posted. And now it's a one-way street heading north. All right, new concept for the video. From Yorkville to Toronto's coolest street and back. I'm gonna head up to Bloor and then I'll make my way back over to right where I started this. Whoa! I just hit a butterfly. I hope it survived and it's okay. It went right off my shoulder and my left cheek. Just kind of fluttered up out of nowhere. Well, hopefully they're not ticketing north of here. We are at Bloor Street West. And if you do know if they were ticketing on Sunday, let me know down in the comments. There's Christie Pitts Park on the left. So this is a neighborhood I've only recorded 10 billion times on this channel. In fact, the first ever walking video I did, I went north up Ossington. I think I came all the way up to Bloor, and then I did another one where I walked through Koreatown. Those were of the silent variety.
Really busy.
don't mind people going slow, but I think I could crawl faster than what that guy was going. And we're at Manning Avenue. Always got to look over your shoulder when the light turns green in case there's someone coming up behind you who decided not to slow down and just keep going right through the intersection. This is Palmerston coming up. One of the nicest residential streets, at least south of here, along Palmerston Boulevard between Bloor and College. And here is Bathurst Street once again. And across Bathurst will be in the Annex. And a look back to the west. Here's Brunswick Avenue. And what was the Brunswick House later became a Rexall. It's now a Value Village boutique. And we're at Spadina. This guy in front of me likes living on the wild side a bit. And here is St. George Street. He was riding hands-free, holding his food in one hand, or what I assume is his food, with no helmet on. Not sure how advisable that is. But my early impressions on this scooter are very favorable. It's got a way better display. Yes, let's not look over our shoulder as we block the bike lane. And this guy's just reversing. It's a lot more comfortable. It's got this great suspension. I don't really seem to mind the hard tires so much. All right, so where I started this ride is just north of here. I think it might be a little more interesting just to follow Bloor here. Just through the Yorkville neighborhood, and then we'll finish it up. According to my display here, my total ride time is 38 minutes. And my trip odometer is 10.2 kilometers. There's that Ferrari we saw earlier on the left. And that other Ferrari, the gray one, is still there too. There's a dad and what looks to be his little one in front of him. Make sure I carefully pass them. And here's Bay Street. So they decided to turn right and go left around everyone at the intersection there. Whoa, that car just nosed right into the bike lane. I don't think the camera picked that up. All the more reason to have protective barriers. And here is Bloor and Young. There's a ton of people on Bloor Street East. That's a dick move what they did. They skipped to the front of the line, riding two abreast, knowing that they were going to be slower than the two people already waiting in front of them. You know it's a bike lane. All right, I'm gonna go north up Church here. See, look at that. Because they're riding two abreast, they just force that guy to go really wide around them. There's a little park just up here where I'll bring this to a finish. This is the part where Church Street veers to the west. And there used to be some really gnarly potholes right around where I am now, but they seem to have patched them up. This is Park Road. Is Koreatown Park. I didn't see any place where I could safely turn right. There's still a neat spot just up here where you get a cool view of the subway tracks, so this will do. I think there's a train rolling through right now. And that's the northbound train, but that'll only be going as far as St. Clair. Thanks to yet another TTC weekend closure. There's a building that was occupied by the group of 7. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this one. Starting in Yorkville and then making my way south through downtown to Ossington, a street deemed by Time Out magazine to be the 14th coolest in the world. If I remember to, I'll put a link to that in the description. And I made my way north up Shaw to Bloor and back over to here at right around the corner from Church and Yonge. And there's the Varla Pegasus. Again, there'll be a video of this coming up pretty soon where I give a detailed rundown. And there's a link to that in the description. All right, if you wish to support the channel, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership in the description. I have an Instagram account at Johnny Strides, and there is a super thanks button appearing below these videos. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.